Turning 70 is more than just a milestone. It's a celebration of life's journey and the wisdom we've gathered along the way. At this stage, we've likely experienced countless achievements, personal growth, and memorable moments. Yet it's also a time to pause and reflect on what truly matters. What once felt essential, whether it's external validation, unnecessary worries, or outdated goals, often fades into insignificance. This phase of life is an invitation to embrace freedom, authenticity, and simplicity. It's about focusing on what brings joy, peace, and fulfillment rather than holding on to the burdens of the past. By letting go of the things that no longer serve us, we create space for new possibilities and a deeper sense of purpose. In today's video, we'll explore 9 things that lose their meaning after 70 and how we can release these to live a lighter, more intentional life. Whether it's redefining success, prioritizing relationships, or choosing happiness over perfection, this is a powerful reminder that it's never too late to embrace a new perspective. If you're ready to step into this inspiring chapter with courage and positivity, stay tuned. Together, let's uncover the freedom and fulfillment that come with embracing what truly matters. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your thoughts are incredibly important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Here's a quick way to let us know how you feel. If today's topic resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments below. If it doesn't, leave a 0 instead. Your support inspires us to create more meaningful and uplifting content. Let's get started. 1. Letting go of material possessions. Finding freedom beyond things. In our younger years, many of us place a significant emphasis on acquiring material possessions. A home filled with furniture, closets brimming with clothes, and a shiny car parked in the driveway often symbolize success, security, or personal achievement. But as time passes, we begin to see these items for what they truly are: things. While they may have served a purpose in one stage of life, their importance often diminishes as we grow older. By the time you reach your 70s, the truth becomes clear. Happiness isn't found in owning more things. In fact, holding on to excess possessions can feel like carrying an invisible weight. It's not uncommon to look around your home and realize that many of the items you once valued have become little more than clutter. They might hold sentimental value or represent milestones from the past, but they can also demand your time, energy, and mental space to maintain. Take, for example, Susan, a retired teacher who found herself overwhelmed by decades of accumulated belongings. Her closets were stuffed with clothes she hadn't worn in years, and her garage was packed with boxes of items she'd forgotten about. One day, Susan decided to declutter her home. She started small, sorting through just one drawer at a time. With each item she let go of, whether it was a dress she hadn't worn since her 50s or old gadgets collecting dust, she felt a growing sense of relief. What began as a practical task turned into an emotional journey, helping her rediscover memories while freeing her from the weight of things that no longer served her. Decluttering isn't just about creating physical space. It's about opening up room in your mind and heart for what truly matters. Instead of holding on to possessions, focus on creating space for experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Whether it's donating unused items to those in need or gifting cherished heirlooms to loved ones, letting go can be a deeply fulfilling act. As Susan found, the joy of simplifying life far outweighed the temporary satisfaction of owning more things. The lesson here is simple. Life's greatest treasures aren't things. They're the connections we nurture, the memories we create, and the sense of peace that comes from living lightly. 2. Embracing authenticity, freeing yourself from the opinions of others. For much of our lives, many of us are preoccupied with what others think of us. We strive to meet societal expectations, seek validation from peers, and worry about how we're perceived by family, colleagues, and even strangers. But as we age, the importance of others' opinions begins to fade. By the time you're 70, you've likely lived long enough to realize that true contentment comes from within, not from external approval. Consider the story of George, a retired engineer who spent much of his life making choices based on what others expected of him. In his younger years, he pursued a high-paying job he didn't love because he thought it would impress his family. He bought a car he couldn't afford because he believed it would boost his social standing. But as George entered his 70s, he realized that many of those decisions had been fueled by a desire for validation rather than genuine happiness. Inspired by this realization, George started living life on his own terms. He sold the flashy car, downsized his home, and began pursuing passions he'd ignored for years, like woodworking and gardening. The result? A newfound sense of freedom and joy. Living authentically means aligning your life with your own values, not those imposed by others. Think back to the times you made decisions based on how others might judge you. Did those choices bring you lasting happiness? Probably not. Now imagine the liberation that comes from making decisions purely for yourself, whether it's how you dress, where you live, or how you spend your time. The truth is, people will always have opinions, but their judgments don't define your worth. As George discovered, letting go of the need for external validation allows you to fully embrace your authentic self. And when you live authentically, you unlock a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. 3. Prioritizing healthy relationships. Letting go of toxic connections. Relationships are at the heart of a meaningful life, but not all relationships are healthy or nurturing. Over the years, you may have held on to certain connections out of obligation, even if they brought negativity into your life. By the time you reach 70, however, it becomes clear that life is too short to tolerate toxic relationships that drain your energy and well-being. Take Maria's story as an example. Maria, a retired nurse, had a lifelong friendship with a woman named Linda. While they had been close in their younger years, Maria began to notice that her interactions with Linda often left her feeling stressed and unappreciated. Linda would constantly criticize Maria's choices, dismiss her accomplishments, and bring a negative energy to every conversation. For years, Maria tolerated this dynamic because she felt obligated to maintain the friendship. But one day, she decided enough was enough. She gently but firmly distanced herself from Linda, focusing instead on relationships that brought positivity and mutual respect into her life. Walking away from toxic relationships isn't an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-care. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you is essential for emotional well-being. Reflect on your own relationships. Are there connections that leave you feeling depleted or anxious? If so, consider whether those relationships truly serve you. By prioritizing healthy connections, you create space for deeper, more meaningful bonds. Maria discovered this when she began spending more time with friends who valued her, encouraged her, and brought laughter and joy into her life. The difference was night and day. The lesson here is powerful. The people you choose to surround yourself with have a profound impact on your quality of life. Let go of relationships that weigh you down and invest in those that nurture your well-being. Comparing yourself to others. It's often said that comparison is the thief of joy, and that couldn't be more true. Over the course of our lives, it's easy to find ourselves caught in the trap of measuring our worth against others. Whether it's marveling at a neighbor's pristine garden, envying a friend's career achievements, or feeling inadequate next to a sibling's milestones, comparison can quietly chip away at our happiness. However, by the time we reach 70, we uncover a profound truth. Life is not a competition. Every person is on their own unique journey, shaped by individual choices, circumstances, and values. Comparing your path to someone else's is like comparing apples to oranges. There's no meaningful way to do so. Take Martha, for example. She spent years feeling disheartened when she compared herself to her younger sister, who had climbed the corporate ladder and traveled the world. But as Martha approached her 70th birthday, she reflected on her own life, raising 3 wonderful children, creating a warm and welcoming home, and volunteering in her community. She realized that her success looked different from her sister's, but it was no less meaningful. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we create space to celebrate our own accomplishments and appreciate the richness of our lives. Maybe your success comes from the relationships you've nurtured, the lessons you've learned, or the small, quiet joys you've experienced. These are the treasures of your unique path. Lesson: your life is your own masterpiece painted with the colors of your choices, experiences, and dreams. Instead of comparing yourself to others, celebrate your journey and focus on the joy it has brought you. By embracing this mindset, you'll find greater contentment and peace. 5. Feeling guilty for prioritizing your own happiness. For many of us, life has been a constant balancing act, juggling family responsibilities, career demands, and the needs of loved ones. While caring for others is deeply rewarding, it can leave little room for focusing on ourselves. As a result, the idea of prioritizing your own happiness may feel selfish or indulgent. But by the time you've reached 70, it's time to shed that guilt. You've spent decades giving your time, energy, and love to those around you. Now it's your turn to focus on what brings you joy. Consider James, a retired teacher who spent most of his life ensuring his students and family were happy and well supported. When he retired, he struggled with guilt whenever he did something for himself, whether it was booking a solo trip or spending time painting. But over time, James realized that his happiness was not only important, it was essential. When he felt fulfilled and energized, he was able to show up for his loved ones in a more meaningful way. Ask yourself, what truly makes you happy? Is it taking long walks in nature, exploring a creative passion, or connecting with old friends? Whatever it is, give yourself permission to pursue it wholeheartedly. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's an investment in your well-being. Lesson: prioritizing your own happiness isn't just a gift to yourself, it's a gift to those around you. By taking care of your emotional and physical well-being, you'll have more energy, joy, and love to share with the people who matter most. 6. Holding on to activities that no longer bring fulfillment. As we journey through life, we often build routines and embrace activities that once brought us joy. But as time passes, our interests and priorities evolve. It's natural for certain hobbies or commitments to lose their meaning, yet we often hold on to them out of habit, obligation, or nostalgia. After 70, it's time to reassess. What still brings you fulfillment and what feels like a chore? Letting go of activities that no longer serve you is not a loss. It's an opportunity to make room for new passions and experiences. Take Helen, for instance. For decades, she participated in a weekly bridge club with friends. While she enjoyed it in the beginning, over time, the game became less about fun and more about obligation. Eventually, Helen decided to step away. With the time she gained, she began exploring watercolor painting, a hobby she had always been curious about but never pursued. Now her days are filled with creativity, and she's discovered a talent she never knew she had. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means honoring where you are today. Perhaps a certain hobby, social group, or tradition no longer aligns with your current needs or interests. That's okay. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for growth, discovery, and joy. Lesson: life is a continuous journey of evolution. Embrace the freedom to reassess your routines and let go of what no longer fulfills you. In doing so, you open the door to new possibilities and experiences that align with the person you've become. 7. Releasing outdated goals. When we are younger, many of us dream big. We set ambitious goals driven by societal expectations, our personal aspirations, or the passions that fueled us at the time. These goals often revolve around career success, financial milestones, or achieving recognition in a certain field. But as life unfolds, our values and priorities evolve. Goals that once seemed essential may no longer hold the same meaning. By the time we reach our 70s, it's a good opportunity to pause and reassess what truly matters. What are the goals that still resonate with who you are today? It's perfectly fine to let go of ambitions that no longer align with your current self. For instance, perhaps you once dreamed of climbing the corporate ladder, but now realize that spending time with family brings you the most fulfillment. Or maybe you once measured success by the size of your savings account, but now you find joy in creating lasting memories through shared experiences. Take Jane, for example. In her 40s, Jane's goal was to build a thriving business and achieve financial independence. She poured herself into her work, sacrificing weekends and vacations to reach her dreams. Now in her 70s, Jane has chosen to release that drive for business expansion. Instead, she focuses on nurturing her garden and volunteering at her local animal shelter. These new priorities bring her peace and a sense of purpose she never expected. The key lesson? It's never too late to redefine success on your own terms. By letting go of outdated ambitions, you're free to focus on what brings you joy and meaning now. Life becomes richer when your goals reflect the person you are today, not the person you once were. Living intentionally allows you to embrace this stage of life with open arms. 8. Prioritizing joy over social obligations. In earlier stages of life, many of us feel the need to fulfill social obligations out of politeness, duty, or the desire to maintain relationships. Whether it's attending events, participating in gatherings, or keeping up with acquaintances, these commitments can sometimes feel more like a chore than a source of joy. After 70, however, life is far too precious to be spent on activities that drain your energy rather than nourish your spirit. This is a time to prioritize what truly brings you happiness. It's okay to say no to invitations or obligations that no longer align with your desires. Imagine the relief of being free to choose social activities that genuinely uplift and energize you. Consider Ruth's story. She used to attend every family gathering out of obligation, even when they left her feeling exhausted. Over time, Ruth realized she could step back from events that didn't bring her joy without damaging her relationships. Now she chooses to spend quality time with close friends over tea or join her book club for lively discussions. Connections that make her feel valued and engaged. By taking control of your social calendar, you give yourself the gift of meaningful relationships and joyful experiences. You don't need to feel guilty for stepping back from connections that no longer serve you or declining invitations that don't align with your interests. Instead, focus on spending time with people and activities that add value to your life. As a result, you'll not only find more fulfillment, but also bring greater energy and presence to the moments that truly matter. The takeaway? Your happiness and well-being are worth prioritizing. You have the freedom to curate your social life so it reflects your authentic desires. By doing so, every interaction becomes more meaningful, and you live with greater contentment. 9. Embracing authentic beauty. For much of our lives, society bombards us with messages about beauty. Magazine covers, advertisements, and social media glorify youthful skin, toned bodies, and unblemished appearances as the ultimate markers of beauty. This pressure to chase external standards can feel relentless, leaving many of us striving to maintain a youthful image or hide the natural signs of aging. But as the years pass, the idea of chasing these ideals begins to lose its grip. After 70, it's time to celebrate beauty in its truest form. Wrinkles, gray hair, and other signs of aging are not imperfections. They are badges of honor that reflect a life filled with experiences, lessons, and growth. Each line on your face tells a story of laughter, perseverance, and wisdom. Instead of viewing these changes as flaws, see them as symbols of the resilience and grace you've cultivated over decades. Take George, for instance. In his younger years, George was preoccupied with maintaining a youthful appearance, often feeling self-conscious about his graying hair. But in his 70s, George has come to embrace his silver locks as a mark of distinction. He jokes that his wrinkles are his smile lines, earned from a life filled with love and laughter. George's confidence and warmth now shine brighter than any physical feature ever could. Authentic beauty is about far more than outward appearance. It's about the qualities that truly make someone remarkable: kindness, compassion, grace, and self-assurance. These traits are timeless and can't be captured in a photo or measured by society's narrow standards. The people you admire most likely aren't those with flawless skin, but those who radiate wisdom and joy from within. By embracing your natural self, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of trying to fix something that was never broken. Let go of societal standards and appreciate your unique beauty, the beauty of a life well lived. Your appearance is a reflection of your story, and every gray hair and wrinkle is a testament to the strength, love, and courage you've shown along the way. The lesson here? True beauty is about authenticity. It's about being comfortable in your own skin and embracing the qualities that make you uniquely you. By doing so, you radiate a confidence and charm that no external standard can replicate. Conclusion: embracing a lighter, more joyful life. As we journey through life, especially after the age of 70, we begin to realize that not everything deserves the same weight it once carried. Letting go of old burdens, whether it's the need for approval, excess material belongings, toxic relationships, or outdated societal expectations, gives us the freedom to focus on what truly brings happiness. This stage of life is an opportunity to live with intention, simplicity, and joy. It's a time to nurture relationships that lift you up, to cherish experiences that bring you fulfillment, and to savor the small moments that make life truly meaningful. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for deeper peace, renewed purpose, and a sense of freedom that is both empowering and rewarding. You deserve to live fully, authentically, and with an open heart. This is your moment to embrace what matters most: your happiness, your well-being, and the legacy of a life well lived. Thank you for watching this video and joining us in exploring these reflections on living a lighter, more fulfilling life. We would love to hear from you. What is something you've let go of that brought you more peace and joy? Or perhaps you have advice or a life lesson that could inspire others in our community. Share your thoughts, experiences, and wisdom in the comments below. We're excited to learn from you. If you found this video inspiring, please take a moment to like it and share it with someone who might need this message. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more uplifting content and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's continue building a community of positivity, purpose, and joy. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.